What's going on? So it is Thursday. It is 13:10 p.m. And I'm bored. And I figured I'd do a video because one of my friends on Twitter posted they were doing a video that was going to rock the Star Wars universe whenever. I'm like, okay, cool. So it reminded me that I wanted to do a video as well. So mine is going to be about the writing of Star Wars, but in particular, basically the writing and the whole universe, the universe as a whole. So I've covered this in the Problems of Star Wars, the 2-part vid series I did on that. The main issue with Star Wars is, for me, is Jedi versus Sith. Now, I've covered this already. So if you didn't see these videos, I'll reiterate for you. The main issue with Jedi versus Sith is that, it's an outdated storyline. It really is. Like, literally, if you take away, like, it's so dumb. Ooh, my stomach growled at me. I'm not hungry. The issue with it is, all it is literally two different people, new lightsaber hilts, new colors. They fight. It's an epic battle, and that is it. Like, that's it. Like, there's story to it, but take it all away, it's just, a sword fight. That's literally it. Is it an iconic one? Maybe, depending on what era you're looking at. But like, there's no real, like, there's no big build up for it, to me anyway. And I'm anti Star Wars now, so I look at it from my perspective and what I've experienced. I love Star Wars, but now I'm anti about it. So the issue with Jedi versus Sith is that they amp up the amazing duels between characters, but never about their powers. And that really bugs the shit out of me. Like, you never get to see them showcase their powers and talents and whatnot. Like, the only people that they've really shown that with is Ezra Bridger being a Beastmaster. And there's a couple of Beastmasters in the Star Wars universe, and that's a rare trait. It's a rare force power to have. You have Force Lightning. Palpatine uses that. A bunch of other Force users use that ability. You have Force Healing, Force Push, all these different powers and shit. But the main focus for any Jedi versus Sith contest is always about sword skills. That's it. No powers, just sword skills. And maybe a force push or two. Like, that's it. Like, where's the actual, why can't you showcase powers more? The only people that really showcase the powers is Ezra, Rey, Palpatine, and Starkiller, and the Cotter games as well, and Revenge of the Sith as well. So all of them showcase force powers and also, sword abilities as well. But mainly, I'm talking about the abilities. You don't see a lot of abilities being showcased because they want to put more emphasis on, ooh, new lightsaber hilt design, ooh, new colors and shit. And I'm like, why can't you do abilities too? Abilities would be really nice to have. And that's where the writing department really lacks. Like, they want to build up this amazing fight, so why not throw force powers into it? You know, showcase the powers more. How hard is that? And another thing with the Star Wars universe itself, and any fandom universe, honestly, is getting some water. The characters. If you write a universe that is character heavy, and when I say character heavy, I'm talking about like having hundreds of characters in it. You know, characters, organizations, allies, enemies, neutral groups, religious sects, um, what else? Governments, all that. You know, it's a lot to fucking control. It's a one big ass deal, and it's a lot to keep track of. And the problem with that is, you know, a lot of the secondary characters don't get the limelight as much. It's always focused on the main cast, and even some of the main cast gets left out of the loop. Take hell, I mean, you can look at Star Wars, and there's literally so many examples of this. In the sequel trilogy, or hell, even uh, all the every Star Wars film, literally all the secondary cast members, they just, you know, they get written off and they're not that important, or they have their moment and that's it. It's like there's got to be more to it. Now you take a franchise like Star Trek, and oh my god, they love their secondary characters. They give them so much love and so much backstory and evolution. And that's really shown deeply in Discovery. You see that in Star Trek Discovery, you see that in DS9, you see that in Voyager, you see that in Enterprise a little bit, I think. You see that in TNG briefly, but not a whole lot, because, you know, TNG was still, you know, the building blocks and whatever. And the original series, I don't really think there was any evolution, but I've never watched it, so I can't really say. But I would hazard to say the only thing that TOS produced was having a diverse cast, and that was about it. Um, that's just my opinion. Um, but you look at shows like Trek, you look at, you know, shows like Trek, Farscape, Babylon 5, um, what else? Earth Final Conflict, Daredevil, well, Marvel Netflix, um, and other shows and whatnot. There's so many to name, and I'm trying to make this like a one video deal. um, you know, they take care of their secondary characters. They show them love, they let them evolve, they give them purpose. And that's nice. Whereas with Star Wars, it's a character heavy universe, and the majority of the secondary characters don't get shit. Phasma, oh my god. Phasma should have had more time. She should have been given more evolution. I mean, it was nice getting her whole backstory in a book and a comic. That was cool. But the fact that they cut her deleted scene from Last Jedi, where she betrayed the troopers that were around her, that, you know, went back to her book origins, where, you know, she betrayed her tribe and stuff. So that was a great tie-in. I was like, perfect. And then they cut it out. But if you listen to the audiobook, it's in the book. Um, I mean, they just kill off characters, and then they're not that popular. Knights of Ren, they were hyped up over 3 films, and all they got was a handful of screen time. They didn't even do much. They got cut down so fucking fast. I mean, if you're gonna introduce new characters and shit, at least give them time to breathe and give them time to actually do something productive, you know? Zori, she only had a little bit of screen time. Babu Frick, the new troopers, everybody on Exegol, all that shit. Just like the entire thing. And no, I have not listened to the audiobook for Rise of Skywalker yet, because I'm busy doing other shit. But you look at everything that's going on and you wonder why there's so much emphasis on Jedi versus Sith when you have a ton of other secondary characters that deserve more time than the main storyline. Yes, it puts asses in seats. It burns money out of your pocket. But to be honest, like, it gets old after a while. It really does get old. Like, you see the same shit and it's like, dude, what can they actually do? Here's another argument I have. I prefer, you know, if they did Star Wars animated, which they've already done, but I'm talking like, instead of doing live action films, do animated films. If they did animated films with Force Power showcase, it would be a lot better. It really would be. Like, you would see, the only closest thing you have is Clone Wars. Yeah, the Clone Wars micro series movie. And that really showcases how strong, you know, a Force user can be. You have Mace Windu fighting off an army of super battle droids with his bare fists. You have Kit Fisto fighting underwater. You have Ventress fighting against insurmountable odds and whatnot. And her ability to disguise herself. I think it's called a Force Cloak or something like that. I forget. What else? General Grievous. Well, Grievous isn't really a Force user, but his skills with his unorthodox combat skills. And, you know, so on and so forth. It's amazing. Like, you get to see all these power showcased, but in reality, all you get is a sword fight. That's it. That's all you get is a sword fight. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to shake the phone. And the secondary characters, they get wiped out so quickly because they don't matter. I'm like, why would you even bother putting them in the story if they're not even going to get any recognition or even any evolution, for that matter? And that's one thing I discovered in my work when I was typing up the original cut for Devastation last night. And I looked over my story, like, wow. I put a lot of emphasis on that fight. Just, you know, I put a lot of emphasis on Lucius and Trixie and didn't even bother building everybody else up. Like, that was a huge fail. And then I look at my extended unrated cuts of my trilogy, and I'm grateful I did those because they have a full evolution. You know, everybody has a backstory, everybody has an origin, everybody plays their part, they're important, they have intricate layers to them, and they stand out. And it's nice. That's why I love Trek so much. That's why I love Lauder so much, because you have, if it weren't for the extended editions of Lauder, if it wasn't for Lauder, if it wasn't for everything else I watched in 2000s, that's one. I wouldn't have such an intricate story like I do now. And the fact that I've, you know, matured over those, you know, 18 years, you know, my writing's matured, so everything's a lot better now. But that's the problem. That's what Star Wars suffers from, is their writing capability. Now, I know a lot of people have bitched and moaned about how the sequels are inconsistent, the prequels are stupid, the OT is a masterpiece and cannot be touched, it has no flaws. You're wrong. I brought that up many times. Um, Everything has. I don't. For me, I don't see issues. I really don't see issues. I don't. Because it's new to me, so I know nothing about it. I don't go looking for leaks. I don't go looking for spoilers. None of that shit. I just go by the fan art, the poster art, the trailers, and that's it. And then I go see the movie. And then I judge it based on how the movie makes me feel and all that. That's how I work. If there's a if somebody in a Star Wars group is looking for a Dark Horse comic, whatever the hell it is, and they're like, oh, this sucks so bad. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I never read it. So I can't really say whether or not it's good or bad because I never read it. So I wouldn't know till I've, actually bought it, read it, and gone over it to where I can give an honest opinion on it. Just my 2 cents on how I feel about it. Whereas, multiple people have read it and they're like, oh, this is shit. Or, based on what it says on Google or Bing or Yahoo or whatever search engine you work with, it's garbage. Everybody has a different opinion on stuff. Respect others' opinions. It's not that fucking hard to do. If somebody says they like it and you don't like it, don't be a toxic asshole and be like, your opinion's wrong, you need to die, blah, 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 blah. That's why, that's one of the reasons why Phantom Menace is hated. But that's a whole nother fucking story. But like looking at all the different things that have come out, is some of it bad? Maybe. I don't really know. I haven't read everything. The only thing I can claim is that I have listened to all the audiobooks that have come out of Star Wars. All of them. From cassette tape to digital. I have listened to all that. And I loved it. It was good. It's all beautiful. I love it. It's so great. It's a great storyline. Great timeline. Awesome events. New characters. New things to enjoy. And it's a great fucking deal. It's so awesome to get into and enjoy, but now I'm like anti because I just don't care for it because people are assholes and whiners and toxic and ugh. So I just kind of leave it alone for the time being. So, and I always find shit that's better than Star Wars, and people don't like hearing that either. I don't know why. It's like there is a lot of shit that's better than Star Wars, like seriously. No, it's not. You're a liar. Why would you say something like that? Disney ruined my childhood. Like, no, you ruined your childhood, you toxic faggot. Damn. Yeah, like everybody's like, there's Disney Star Wars and there's George Lucas Star Wars. It's all Star Wars. Jesus Christ. Are you that dumb? That mental? Shit. Fuck. Is a lot of the writing good? Yeah, to me, it's all good. If I haven't read it, it's new to me. So something that's new to me is exciting because I've never heard of it before. I've never seen it. And I'm like, oh, wow. And then I find somebody, and then the new people that I've come into contact with in the story, they're my new favorite characters. Plain and simple. And people want to complain about how it's so bad and how it's not there anymore. And I'm like, you sound like a retard. A retarded puppet at that. Because people need their special words to make them feel better. I need canon, non-canon, canon. Like, you sound like a dumbass. Ugh. Like, Jesus, do you need are those your safe space words so you can get through the day? Dumbass. But, yeah, like, the main issue with Star Wars writing is the fact that it's a character-heavy universe. And the secondary characters just don't get enough limelight. If they would focus on building secondary characters up more than the main characters, or bring them up to their an equal standing, it would be really nice. But they'll never do that because they just want to focus on Jedi versus Sith, which is dumb. I mean, you can tell what it's going to be like based on what's shown in the trailer sometimes, but even the trailers are all misleading to make you think different things, and it's like, okay, cool. But I don't know, for me, it gets old quick. It really does get old. Um, I wish they would be. I wish it was more organic, like Lauder was. Like Lauder, the original Lauder extended trilogy is so organic and so wholesome, and you have everybody. Hell, not Lauder. The whole Middle Earth saga. But if we're talking just Lauder, that whole saga, everybody is in equal standing. There's equal evolution. There is equal um, story. There's equal um, what's the word I'm thinking of? Equal standing, equal evolution, equal uh, likability for everybody. Because there's so many characters, and Lauder is such a detail-oriented universe that you got to pay attention to it. And yes, the books, from what I've heard, the books are pretty long because some of them have 5 pages of detail. My sister read one of them and it was like 5 pages of detail for one thing. So yeah, that can get annoying, and I get that, but that's what happens when you're building a universe. If you're writing your own fictional universe up, yeah, it's going to take a lot because you have to look at all the details. You got to work on all this shit. You have to make sure that your characters properly evolve. You have to look out for plot points. You have to be careful that you don't fuck up shit. I've done that numerous times. Oh my god. One of the worst things I ever did in my trilogy was have Lucius rip his shirt off on 3 separate occasions within 3 different pages. Fun. I'm like, wow, when did you find time to change your shirt? Like, ugh, I'm feeling strong, rip. Ugh, I'm feeling stronger, rip. Ugh, time to fight, rip. It's stupid. It was that machismo shit. And I got tired of that, so I rewrote him. And now he's better. Same goes for if you're writing a female character. It's not just whether or not she has huge tits and a nice ass. It's, what's her personality like? Just because if she has to have a hot body, big fucking deal. That's old misogynistic shit. It's like, be original and shit. And I wish Lucasfilm would be more organic with their shit. But they don't want to be more organic. They would rather stick to what they know and, do the basic storyline of Jedi versus Sith. And, yeah. I mean, will I get back into Star Wars? Yeah, obviously I will. I still watch Clone Wars every Friday. So, that's fun. And, I'm excited for that. I like Clone Wars. But, like, now I'm, anti, so that's just me. And yes, it is a contradiction. I'm used to being contradictive. It's a habit of mine that I hate trying. It's hard to break and shit. So, yeah, that's about what I got. So, if they ever would fix the writing and make everybody more equal, because I'm used to having equal characters. I'm used to having equal evolution and all that shit. You know, I learned that from I learned intricacy from Watchmen, from Discovery, Identity, a whole bunch of other shows I've watched that I've named off and whatnot. And to see, you know, characters really thrive is amazing. So, yeah, that's my beef with Star Wars is the fucking writing. Like, a lot of the writing, most of the writing is consistent, but the issue that I have is the secondary characters don't get a lot of evolution whatsoever. Or it's done in a book and the it doesn't really show as much in the it doesn't carry over and stuff. Another character heavy universe that's intricate is Dune. That's another one that's really, you know, top notch, hard, intricate. And I do like Dune. I'm anxious to see the new movie coming out this year if it comes out. So, yeah, it's just one of them things. But anyway, so traffic's distracting. I'm gonna get off of here and I will go get some food because I'm kind of hungry. So, till next time, like and subscribe for thoughts and prayers.